The prospectus for Barita's additional public offer is out, and as promised, I'm here to break it on down. I'm Kalila Reynolds, and it's time for another episode of Money Mondays JA, brought to you in partnership with Proven Wealth. Before we get started, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to this channel, and turn on those post notifications. Also, subscribe to our newsletter by clicking the link in the description box below. So Barita's additional public offer opens on Wednesday, August 26, 2020, and is scheduled to close on Wednesday, September 16. While the application can close early, something we've seen happen many times, Barita has stated in the prospectus that they'll keep it open for at least 7 days. Now, before I continue, remember, I'm not a licensed financial advisor. So while I'm giving you this review and some opinions, please don't take anything I'm about to say as financial advice. For that, you can contact our sponsor, Proven Wealth, for great advice from one of their licensed financial advisors. Always consult a licensed advisor before making any investment decisions. Now, Barita's offering up to 174 million shares with the option to upsize by an additional 87 million shares. You have to buy at least 300 shares in order to participate in this offer. If you're buying 1,000 shares or less, you'll be classified as a small shareholder and you'll get a discounted price of 49 Jamaican dollars. This means that small investors can get in on this offer with about 15,000 Jamaican dollars or about 100 US. Shares have also been reserved for hotel workers, farmers registered with the Rural Agricultural Development Authority RADA, and civil servants who also get a discounted price of $49.75. Now, the vast majority of the new shares, 86%, have been reserved for cornerstone investors, existing shareholders, Barita clients, and key investors at a price of 52 Jamaican dollars. That's about 35 cents US. And the remainder of the shares are being offered to the public at the same price of $52. If this offer is fully subscribed, Barita would raise 9 billion Jamaican dollars. That's about 60 million US. And this APO would be the third largest fundraise ever in Jamaica, behind Trans-Jamaican Highways IPO and JMMB's APO last year. Now, if they get excess demand, Barita could choose to upsize the offer and take as much as 13 billion Jamaican dollars, nearly 87 million US. This would increase their capital from 15.2 billion Jamaican dollars to 28 billion Jamaican dollars. So that's almost double their current capital. Now, before I break down how the money will be used, let's take a step back to look at the business of Barita Investments Limited. By now, everyone should know that Barita is a publicly listed company on the Jamaica Stock Exchange. They offer a range of services and retail investment products. This includes cambio trading, investment banking, stock brokerage, and wealth management. The company was founded back in 1977 by Rita Humphreys Lewin. She's the Rita in Barita and a stalwart in Jamaica's financial industry. This makes Barita one of the oldest stock brokerage companies in Jamaica. In August 2018, Cornerstone Investments Holdings Limited acquired 76.5% of Barita. Paul Simpson, the founder, president, and CEO of Cornerstone, is now the deputy chairman of Barita's board of directors. Among the company's executive team are Paula Barkley, she's a general manager, and Ramon Small Ferguson, who's the vice president of asset management and research, who we'll actually hear from on this week's episode of Taking Stock. So make sure that you tune in for that. So since Cornerstone's acquisition, Barita has acquired a 5% stake in Proven Investments. They've expanded their operations to include a private wealth division, and they've started offering investment banking. Barita's net profit has more than quadrupled. Look there, just gone right up. And they've been aggressively raising funds to finance even more expansion. In 2019, Barita raised over 10 billion Jamaican dollars, about 74 million US at last year's average exchange rate. With a successful APO, they'll become one of the largest capitalized securities firms in Jamaica. For the 2019 fiscal year, Barita's audited financial statements reported revenue of $4 billion, nearly 30 million US. They also realized net profit of 1.7 billion Jamaican dollars, more than 12 million US. Now, while the profits of most companies have been negatively impacted by the effects of COVID-19, Barita still posted net profit of 2 billion Jamaican dollars for the 9 months ending June 30, 2020, which was higher than the previous year. Imagine. That's about 14 million US dollars if we use 140 to 1 as the average exchange rate for that period. But they didn't completely escape the effects of COVID. They did experience a decline in dividend income and gain on investment activities, and foreign exchange also fell by 5% when compared to the previous year. Now, another important thing that some investors take into consideration when researching companies to invest in is the company's dividend policy. According to the prospectus, Barita believes in paying out a reasonable amount of its earnings to shareholders while ensuring that the company has enough money to reinvest. So for 2019 fiscal year, for example, the first year since the acquisition by Cornerstone, the company paid out 77% of their net profit in dividends. On August 7 this year, the company declared an interim dividend of $2.22 to shareholders on record at the close of business on September 22, 2020. So if the APO closes early enough, new investors might stand a chance to benefit from this dividend. I'll definitely be asking Ramon about that as well. Now to the most important part. What massive plans does Barita have for all this money that they already have and that they hope to get from this APO? According to the prospectus, Barita plans to use about half of the money, $4.3 billion, to expand its local and regional retail footprint. So far, we know that they plan to establish 2 branches in Kingston and Montego Bay, and regional sounds like they're planning to enter the markets of some Caribbean countries. So where will they go? Trinidad? Dominican Republic? I'll definitely be asking about this on Taking Stock as well, so stay tuned. Now, coming back to the use of funds, Barita also plans to use $1.8 billion of the proceeds to develop and attract new managed funds and to expand their product offerings to serve a wider range of investor profiles. Also, $1.5 billion will be used to increase their investment banking underwriting capacity, and this suggests that Barita will seek to underwrite and broker more deals such as bonds, IPOs, APOs, and the sort as companies look to raise capital. If you've read through the prospectus, you'll see that for this APO, Barita itself is the lead broker. And they'll also be using $1 billion of the proceeds to upgrade their technology to leading global standards. So for this APO, investors will be submitting applications through BOSS, which is Barita's digital online securities solution tool. But if you, like me, have checked the website, BOSS actually isn't open yet to receive applications. So for those who want to make sure that your application is on top, you can download the application form at the back of the prospectus. Just fill it out and drop it off or mail it to Barita along with your funds. Now, lastly, $200 million of this fundraise will be used to develop the talent, brand, and operation capacity of the company, and the rest of the funds will be used to cover the transaction costs. Now, a lot of people are watching to see how this APO does since it's the first major raise since COVID hit. It's kind of a tester for other companies that are also eyeing the markets for additional funds. Cygnus, Panjam. So here's what Clive Charlton, he's equity trader at JMB, had to say on last week's episode of Taking Stock. I hear you on the investment appetite right now, perhaps among your clients there at JMB, because there's been a lot of discussion about whether this is the right time to even come with an offer now. I know I've heard of another offer, another IPO that will be opening this month, August as well. But are your clients having that appetite to come back with money to invest at this time?
In fact, we had a discussion about the timing of this offer yesterday. And Barita is, the new ownership of Barita is fairly aggressive. You know, they have been since And I think this is one of their strategy also. I think there are template for the rest of the investment industry, as to whether the proper timing to come in. So they're really pushing the letter, if I want a better term. And we are.
Well, have you read the prospectus? Tell me what you think in the comments. And please remember, I'm not a licensed financial advisor, and you should read the prospectus for yourself and speak to a licensed financial advisor. Keep watching as well. I have a giveaway coming up. But first, here's what's coming up in Taking Stock.
Barita is trying to raise $9 billion worth of new equity capital in its upcoming IPO come August 26. Is this the right time for an IPO? We'll discuss with Vice President of Asset Management and Research at Barita Investments Limited, Ramon Small Ferguson. And later, the analysts weighing on the latest market developments. JMMB Group has reported a net profit of $780 million for the first quarter of its 2020-2021 financial year, ending June 30. And US tech company Apple has become the first to boast a market value of $2 trillion as many turn to technology to connect during the pandemic. We'll discuss.
Well, I'm Kalila Reynolds, and that's it for this episode of Money Mondays JA, brought to you in partnership with Proven Wealth. Follow them on social media at We Are Proven, and follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Kalila Ray. Of course, hit that thumbs up button so that YouTube shows this video to more people. Subscribe to this channel, and if you've learned anything useful today, share with a friend. Now, congratulations to last week's t-shirt winner, Demar G. You've won yourself one of these fabulous Get This Money t-shirts. Email orders at KalilaRayMedia.com to claim your prize. Guys, if you want one, just email that address to place your order. And time now for today's giveaway. Here's the question. Easy. How many reserved share pools are there in this offer? Answer in the comments. You have until Friday, August 28th to post your answer. The winner will be chosen at random from the correct answers and announced in next week's episode. Until then, I'm Kalila Reynolds. Stay safe.